Here from Defy Athletics, and today on Player Analysis we're going to be going over Tom Schreiber. People have been asking me to do this guy for a long time, and I can't lie to you, I'm just going to be brutally honest. I've been trying to avoid this guy like the plague because he is the most unorthodox player I think I've ever seen. Maybe save Doug Knight. He's clearly set a bunch of, I don't know if he set a bunch of records, but he's obviously, without question, one of the best players in the game right now. He's had a ton of success. In my eyes, he is the exception that proves the rule. His shooting mechanics are very different. There are some things I believe that he does very, very well, and then there are things that I think he could really, really improve on. And if you think about that, that's actually the biggest compliment of all, because if this guy, with as good as he already is, can improve that much more, I mean, think about where he could go. So when you look at these great players, I try to look at what they could be versus what they are. So don't take the best player in the game and say, that's the best a human can be. Take the best player in the game and look at it like, how good could we make that individual, right? So don't think of the best player in the game currently as the limit of human potential. I know that was a little long-winded, but at any rate, let's get rolling here. He's clearly a good player, so let's play this. So, oh, bang. All right. Like I said, for me, the exception that proves the rule. When you're running down the alley as a midfielder, okay, nothing wrong with a sidearm shot if that's what you want to do. I personally would argue, and statistics would show, that having your stick to the outside like this while you're running down the left alley, you have a horrible angle, all right? But that's not what concerns me. It's this part. See how we have an arched back right here? When you see an arched back like that, that means you're muscling a ball, and you never want to muscle a ball. You want to step into a shot, or muscle a shot, I should say. You want to step into a shot, not muscle it. All right, and the best way to step into it is to open up with this foot. All right, you want to open up those hips. So he's basically shooting with his arms and his back right now. And he's getting a ton of power on that shot because he's a strong guy. And he's able to make that happen. However, he's shooting right around his hips, all right? And he's using his body to guide the ball. He's getting a ton of snap, and obviously that thing's going to hit the corner. Mind you, there's no such thing as finding a highlight video on YouTube that shows people missing, right? So every correction I have to do has to be of a highlight. But regardless of what I think personally, this guy's had a ton of success. So what matters is, can you put this into your game? Is this how you think you want to shoot going forward, right? Is that what you want to practice? Totally your call. I wouldn't practice shooting like that on the run, but clearly he's had a lot of success with it. All right, here's one I do like. Okay, he's more of a sidearm shooter, it seems like, because he doesn't tend to shoot with his hands over his shoulders, and so in like an overhand motion, he tends to like sidearm shooting. In this one, he's overstepping a little bit, but you'll see that body, it fades out here, but you'll see that body drive forward. All right, he dips his stick really, really nicely, and he drives forward with that shot. Bang. All right, so that's what you want to understand with that shot. Six to the inside, stepping a little wide of a step, but then he pulls his body right over that foot and gets a good snap on that shot. So that's a great shot right there. Okay. Let me play this real quick. This is what I'm talking about. I'm glad that whoever took this footage got this angle. Just got to ask yourselves, have you ever seen a pitcher throw a baseball with his hand in this position right here? Have you ever seen a quarterback throw a football with his hand in that position? No, right? That's because you can't get any leverage on the ball. But second, we as lacrosse players get away with this because we have a lever, we have a stick to use, okay? This guy, already shoots the ball really hard. And he gets a great bounce shot on this shot. The stick's vertical, which is a good thing. But you'll see here, the way he was able to get that stick vertical is by dipping his shoulders. If his arms were away from his body, he wouldn't have to dip his shoulders to get that stick vertical. Again, I'm trying to be constructively critical, meaning you can do it and you can absolutely succeed, and some people do. But without this guy's physical attributes, whatever he was born with or whatever, I think you're going to have a hard time shooting the ball like this and succeeding. But obviously a great bounce shot. Go back to that real quick. Right here, coming over. Bang. Awesome. All right, we'll keep moving. Now this is him in his pro days. I really like the shot personally. Great roll. Back is straight, head is up for the most part, like we always talk about. And as I see it, hands got away from his body pretty well, right? Turned into the field really, really nicely and made sure. I think more middies should do this, is turn back and into the field to get that angle that you're looking for, because shooting on the run down the alley is very, very difficult, and I think you're going to see a lot more success by doing it this way. And I just had to throw this clip in just to reiterate on my point. Obviously, he stings the corner, but as you're coming down the alley, man, unless you're a freak of nature like this guy, that is going to be hard to do. Goalie doesn't even see it. If you're not as fast and as strong as this guy is, you're going to have a hard time shooting like that. All right, so again, in my eyes, the exception that proves the rule. So, in my some keys to take away. Sees the field very well. I think he struggles with trying to get his hands back when he's shooting, and that's why you might see him jump once in a while when he shoots. But really he has a very quick release. He turns his hands over. I'm sure his forearms are like Popeye. I'm sure he's got very strong arms. So when he turns those hands over and he goes to shoot a ball, he's got a great snap. All right. I think he's better when he's shooting sidearm or underhand than overhand, for the example I showed in the beginning. All right. And I think his primary attributes are that he's big, strong, and athletic. So I think he gets himself in good positions to get these types of shots off. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little something from that. We brought in a guy here that does things differently than I would do them,